Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Swoop Podcast. It's your guest for the night, Dante Fantuz, and I'm here with my partner,
Josh Sanchez.
And what an intriguing weekend in the sports world, from the Brandon Cooks trade to Terrell Pryor, and to draft hopeful Sidney Jones.
Yeah, but before we get started with all that, I actually have a little something I would like to add for this weekend. I interviewed my high school friend and basketball player at my high school, Noah Rivera. He is the starting power forward at Mr. Carodia University. As a freshman, he's 6'7", was a Blue Gold All-Star nominee, and I believe was an All-State player as well. Mm-hmm. And it was just a good 8 to 10 minute interview. Me and him sat down, talked basketball, and here it is right now. Ready to get started?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So growing up as a kid, what NBA player did you idolize?
Honestly, growing up, my mom always kind of put me on to Michael Jordan because that was her era. And I know that's kind of like a cliche for everyone else, like, oh yeah, Michael Jordan. But honestly, she was always into basketball, and she's always the one that's at all my games and all that. So honestly, Michael Jordan was always a good start for everyone. But as you get older, your game starts to change, and you obviously got to model after different players. And honestly, a couple big men in the league that are pretty great. I mean, Anthony Davis,
the Theodore Brown.
Exactly. Boogie, all them, and it's crazy how they're together now. But yeah, I mean, you gotta learn stuff from different guys. So that's what helps.
That is a good point, because we see now how the big men has evolved now. Boogie Cousins can now hit threes, and
Exactly.
Anthony Davis has been so dominant in the post, and now he's starting to stretch it out. So now, just a quick question about high school. How would you describe your high school basketball career? All 4 years at Concord.
I loved all 4 years at Concord. I wouldn't have traded for anything else. I love playing with all my guys out there. I wish last year could have went a little different. Seeing as this, I had an injury at the beginning of the season, but I never had any complaints really. I mean, great group of guys, always picking each other up, always playing for each other, and never had to worry about someone being more selfish than anyone else. So I had no complaints.
That's good, yeah, because my to keep it real, my little brother, he was on the freshman team. Mm-hmm. Now, me and him have different dads, so his dad's 6'4". He graduated from Eastern University, and he can shoot the three, so my little brother's now going through it. I just took him to St. Mark's the other day because he had a little freshman tournament, so I'm just wishing him the best and stuff like that. But that's good that you liked it, so. When you finished high school, my fault, and did you have a couple college choices?
Yeah, I definitely had a couple choices. They definitely got slimmed down a little bit just because of the injury and everything. But honestly, I found out about Misericordia because my friend Shane, you know Shane Oaks.
Yeah, Shane.
His cousin actually played college basketball with the assistant coach at Misericordia. And he actually mentioned him about me before I was injured, and that's honestly how I came in contact with the school. They honestly had no idea about me until then, and I can't thank him enough till this day for that opportunity. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I had a couple options, Albright. Even before I got hurt, I was talking to Westchester and stuff like that. But I'm happy with where I ended up. Playing at the next level, you can't really complain.
That's good. Now talking about college basketball, what was the biggest change from the high school game to the college game?
For me, it was definitely staying in shape to be able to, because the game, I know it's cliche, but the game really is the pace of the game really picks up. Guys are starting to get a little bit more athletic, and you're not playing with kids that only play with basketball for fun. Like these guys go out here, practice hard every day, just like you do. So you got to really bring your game not only on the court, but you got to be in the weight room, doing drills by yourself, all that type of stuff. You gotta really lock in and handle your business.
If there's any advice you like to give to like the young kids watching this or anyone that does listen to this about like college basketball or about basketball in general, what advice would you give to them?
Definitely the first advice I'd give, especially for younger kids, is if you're really serious about it, make sure you lock it down. You train, you work out, all that stuff, because that's the stuff I wish I would have done when I was younger. But that's not the only side of it. You got to get your work done in the classroom as well, because that's another thing that I struggled in. And if I had got my work done in the class, I could have been, who knows where I could have been playing at. But all in all, definitely, if you're really serious about it, make sure you definitely commit to it.
Thank you, Noah. Do you want to talk a little bit about NBA basketball, college basketball a little bit?
You can talk about a little bit about basketball.
All right,
I'm not really great at following everything, but
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Do you have like a favorite NBA team?
I'd say I definitely support the Sixers. They're starting to come around now, so I'm from around here, so definitely a Sixers fan.
That's good. Do you have a favorite like college basketball team?
Yeah, North Carolina. We
yeah.
took a tough loss last night, but we'll be back. We'll bounce back. No worries.
How far do you think North Carolina will run for the NCAA tournament this year?
Honestly, I like us going far. We got a solid team. As long as we keep everything together. Joel Berry does his thing, Justin Jackson does his thing. All ACC player of the year. We should be all right.
Now, I'm a Villanova fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's okay.
How did you feel about that shot last year? Cause that was a classic. That was a classic game.
It was a great ending to a basketball game. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better basketball game than that. Of course, it didn't go in my favor, but hey, you can't go under like that in an NBA game for last shot. It's terrible defense. Great play, terrible defense. And that just ends up in a loss.
Anything else you want to talk about, Noah, before we wrap this up? Or
No, I had a great time. Glad I get out here and get an interview in. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, anytime. Like again, like I said earlier before we did this interview, if you want to come up to Cabrini, bring a couple friends up, cause me and Dante are gonna do something special, and I want to tell you that you're the first person I'm interviewing, and I just want to say thank you for everything, and I appreciate it a lot.
Oh no, thanks for having me.
All right, Noah, well, I'll see you.
All right.
Wow, Josh, what a very intriguing young man there. We would like to give Noah Rivera a big shout out for being able to do this interview with us.
A big shout out to you, Noah. Thank you, Noah, for everything. And it was a very intriguing interview. And now let's get on to our topics for today.
Yeah, so like I said on our last podcast, me and Josh were gonna do a a mock draft for the first round. But before we get into all of that, we would like to discuss the Brandon Cooks trade. Me and Josh here have a bit of a disagreement here. He likes the trade. I don't like the trade. So, Josh, I'm going to let you start off with why you like the trade.
I like the trade because Brandon Cooks is not only young, he's fast, he's explosive. And the Patriots, he fits perfectly for their system. You don't need that big-bodied receiver in the Patriots offense. Like, as we see, like, they've won 2 Super Bowls with Julian Edelman being their primary guy. So you have Cooks, Edelman, Amendola, Malcolm Mitchell too, right? So there's your receiving core. And then Gronkowski, your tight end, comes back. I just think they traded for Brandon Cooks because Gronkowski has not played a full season, I believe, in 3 years. So they're going to prepare for him to be injured, and when he's injured, they like to spread the ball out and get it and put their best receivers in space. And I just think that it's a good trade for them. And even with Gronk, he's another explosive player that Tom Brady can use, and Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, and you give him a weapon like Brandon Cooks that runs like a 4.4, And we all seen the highlights. He's a big play machine, and Tom Brady loves to throw the ball deep.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's an exciting time for New England, and you don't give up Malcolm Butler either. So now you keep Butler, and they also signed Gilmore too. So now you keep your defense. Your defense gets upgraded, and your offense gets upgraded. And that's what I think, in my opinion. And the Patriots are already Super Bowl favorites already, and I just think now, like as of today, I think they're going an easy, clear cut to the Super Bowl. Now it's just decide whether they win it or not. That's just up for the future. But that's what I think about the Cooks trade. What do you think, Dante?
I think the trade was a bad trade for the Patriots. Like you pinpointed, the receiving core. The receiving core for that New England has are just all speedy receivers. Yes, we do hear the same saying over and over again. Speed kills. But what about when you have that 4th and 1 at the 1 yard line and Rob Gronkowski isn't there? Now, you said Rob Gronkowski hasn't played a full season in about almost 3 years.
Yeah.
But he played a full 16 games back in 2011. But 2014 and 2015, he's played 15 games. So I don't know if you. No, not altogether. Like each season.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to count that a full season. I mean, everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah, I was just saying technically, yeah.
But the reason why I can't agree with this trade is because the success that I think the only way that this trade can be successful is if Rob Gronkowski plays. Because honestly, you're not going to have that big body receiver to go to that's going to, really stand out from everybody. Without Gronk, I mean, yes, they did win the Super Bowl this past season without him, but tell me the truth, Josh. How many teams are going to blow a 25-point lead like the Falcons did?
Oh yeah, I believe.
Not too many teams are going to do that.
Bro, all you have to do is pull up the last podcast and hear me go on and on about how the Atlanta Falcons choked.
When they beat Seattle. Seattle lost that game themselves.
No, Seattle won that game.
No, I'm talking about
the Super Bowl.
Bowl.
I thought you were talking about the regular season.
Oh, when Seattle and the Patriots played that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Seattle lost that game themselves. They lost it themselves, and Gronkowski played. He definitely played.
Yeah.
But I think that's where it stands out. You need that big body receiver. You just can't have all dudes that are like 5'10", 6 foot, all on the same field.
Not even 5'10".
How
Yeah, Brandon Cooks, I think, is 5'8" or 5'9".
I don't know how tall he is. Average 5'10". Let's just say the average is 5'10". You can't expect all 3, 4, 5'10" receivers to just beat everybody down the field. What about when you need that jump ball? You didn't resign what's his name? LeGarrette Blount over the offseason.
Yeah, they didn't resign.
He walked. So like I said, how many teams are going to blow a 25-point lead, and what are you going to do when they have 4th and 1 and you don't have nobody big to get the ball to? This is why I say it's a bad trade, because one, yes, I'm a very big Rob Gronkowski fan, but he's prone to injury. He's injury prone. I mean, to the people that don't consider 15 games a full season, he hasn't played a full season since 2011.
That's even worse than what I said. I said 3 years.
So, I think that's based on opinion. If people think he's played the full season or not, technically he hasn't played the full season because the full season is 16 games. So really, I think it all falls in the lap of Rob Gronkowski. Yes, you have the greatest quarterback of all time. Yes, it's great you completed this trade without having to give up Malcolm Butler and you was able to sign Stephon Gilmore. Yes, I think it's great. But at the same time, though, you're not going to get anything done without that big body presence. That's just how I feel on the trade. And not technically, but I was doing some research. And besides Randy Moss, who was that big receiver that the Patriots ever really had?
Yeah, if you really think about it, yeah.
Because if you think about it, yes, people are going to say, okay, well, you have Julian Edelman, you had Wes Welker, you had Deion Branch before those two. Cool. But what were those receivers? Besides Deion Branch, Wes Welker and Julian Edelman are slot receivers. And Julian Edelman can only reach 1,000 yards when Rob Gronkowski's hurt. Without Gronkowski there, he's not reaching 1,000 yards.
Yeah, he actually had a
And he's
down
not.
year
And
this
he's
year.
no. He had a. I think it was 1,100 yards he had.
Yeah, it's because
But remember, Gronkowski
when
got hurt.
Gronkowski got hurt. But
Remember,
before,
yeah, before
he
though,
was
he was. I think at the beginning of the season, he was injured. I think he had a foot injury or something like that, or a thumb injury.
yeah, he was out.
One of the two. No, he played through it, but you could tell it just affected his game and how he played.
Yeah, he barely played anything.
But when
this year.
Gronkowski went down, and mind you, Gronkowski's injury is a life-threatening injury. He had to get spinal surgery or surgery to his back, one of the two. That's a life-threatening injury. Doctors can turn around tomorrow and say, you can't play anymore. So I believe this is a bad trade unless Rob Gronkowski could come back and be the Rob Gronkowski of old. And I think it's just hard to do bearing the injuries that he had, the injuries and the injury list that he has. I mean, I just don't see this work planning out to be in the Patriots' favor unless Rob Gronkowski can stay healthy. I think, like DJ Khaled says, is the key to success. Rob Gronkowski is the key to success to the Patriots.
And then as well as Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, but I mean, without any receivers, who's gonna you really expect Brady to just throw the ball up 80 yards down the field and for him to run and go catch it? Without receivers, you don't have anything. Yes, he definitely has good receivers. Brandon Cooks is a proven good receiver, but average height of 5'10". Who's gonna? Pardon me. Who do you think they're gonna have now to get that jump ball down the field? When average corner, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm just saying as a guess. Average corners are what, 6 foot, 6'1", average corner,
But
and
see,
the Patriots average receivers are 5'10".
But see, one thing New England has that most teams do not have, they have that system that no matter what flaw they have, that system still works. They like to throw the ball short and quick. You see what Tom Brady likes to get the ball out. And with now Cooks, Edelman, Amendola, Mitchell, you have all these speedy guys now that can get the ball out quick. That's what New England wants to do. They want to get the ball out quick, make it like 3rd down and 2, 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and manageable. That's just how New England has been for the past 4 or 5 years when they've gone on these two Super Bowls when they won it. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think as of right now, though, you don't give up Malcolm Butler. You only give up your 1st and 3rd round pick, and you know how the Patriots are. They really don't draft anyone. They find people from other teams. I don't know how New England does it, because they've been either pick 32, pick 31, or pick 29 every
Anywhere
year.
from 27 to 32.
Yes, they've been that same spot since 2000, and they just find a way. They just have that system, like I say with the Spurs. They just have that system, like we see with the Spurs. Tim Duncan. There's gonna be a change now. They got Leonard. They have that system. It's just hard to explain it.
No,
that
I get what you're
system
saying.
is turning,
I get what
man.
you're saying.
It just works. It continues to work.
I get what you're saying.
And Brandon Cooks now adds to that element. Quick slants. Cooks.
So all right,
gone.
so then since you brought up the Spurs, then do you think they will win if they set out 5 point guards on the floor? If they had 5 point guards on the floor.
But basketball's a lot different from football.
I know it is. Oh yeah, I understand it is.
Because, 5
But-
point now.
And I mean, in basketball, don't you need
You need some
somebody?
size.
But you need size down there, don't you?
Yeah, the New England size, their
In
linemen.
football, in football, you need size too. It's not just always speed kills. And if you want to say, and I mean, I'm not going to be here to argue with anybody about speed kills, because it definitely can. But the person who mastered speed kills can't even get a job in Chip Kelly. He can't even turn around. He ruined your organization. The master of speed kills. So, I mean, it's only
Yeah.
going to do so much of speed kills. And I'm sitting here waving my arms in the air as I'm saying this in quotations. Speed kills.
Speed kills.
So there's only so much that it's really going to do.
The quote of the day. Speed kills.
Speed kills.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Now it's just a point of
And I mean, I'm not trying to
gotta
cut you
wait and
off.
see.
I'm not trying to cut you off or anything, but you're saying Tom Brady's the type of quarterback that wants to get the ball out very quick in 2 seconds. Which, yes, he does get the ball out in 2 seconds. But if you don't have that big body receiver, that's gonna, like I said, when the jump balls down the field, these corners, these linebackers are all gonna play quick slants, quick routes, and it's not gonna establish no fear of that long ball. Well, it's gonna establish. I mean, yes, Brandon Cooks is gonna obviously go vertical about maybe 4 or 5 times a game,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna establish fear like, oh my God, it's not gonna establish the same type of fear as it would if it was Rob Gronkowski. And that's where I just keep point pinning back to is Rob Gronkowski. Because if he can't get back healthy and he can't get back to that Rob Gronkowski we've seen of 2014, 2015, he didn't play a full season. He played 16 games.
15.
15 games, pardon me.
I got your back, bro.
He's had, in 2014, he had 1,100 yards with 12 touchdowns. 2015, another 1,100 yards with 11 touchdowns. 2010, 2011, he played full seasons. 2010 was his rookie year. I'm not going to count that,
Yeah.
But 2011 was when he bursted onto the scene for the New England Patriots and had 90 receptions, 1,300 yards with 17 touchdowns.
Dang. That's that Gronk spike, man.
So, I'm just going to say, let's just see how it plays out from here.
Let's just see how it plays out.
Let's just see how it plays. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Do you want to talk a little bit about Sidney Jones?
Ooh, Sydney.
Because we do have a mock draft.
Yes,
And
we
it
are going to give our mock draft. But honestly, I think the injury to Sidney Jones is going to place him out of the top. Is going to place him out of the first round in the real NFL draft.
Yes, I believe so too.
I think it's going to be like a Miles Jack situation. I mean, I know they played two different positions.
Yes.
But remember, Miles Jack had the injury, and the Jaguars got him in the second round. And I'm pretty. And he's a steal, pretty much.
Yes, he is a steal.
He's a pretty much steal
for the Jaguars, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Big steal. And I just have a quick question I'm going to look up. I want to figure out when are the Eagles picking in the second round, because if he's in that second...
I think it's 43 or 44. I'm not too sure, though.
Because if he's sitting around that area, and I would take a
yeah,
chance.
of course.
I would take a chance.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would definitely take him then.
Because I'm not even going to lie. If he didn't have injury, I would have him in my top 10 for this mock draft. He's a
without
stud.
a doubt.
And I'm about to look up the draft picks real quick. Man, like Sidney Jones, I'm just shocked by the injury. I guess I have
don't
no
think
words to say
anybody
about it.
expected that at all.
And we picked 44.
44?
Yes.
Okay.
So if he's sitting around that range, take a chance on him in the second round. I would.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's going to be a high-risk, high-reward type thing. So, I mean, I would take the risk. That's something I can agree with you on. Is definitely taking that risk on Sidney Jones in the second round.
Because that corner is a shutdown corner I see in my eyes. I've watched
he has the potential to be.
My fault, potential. But you want to get on to this mock draft?
Before we get on to the mock draft, how do you feel about Terrell Pryor signing with the Redskins?
I think it's a good move. The Redskins, they lost Jackson, they lost Garcon. I mean, now you have Crowder. So they needed that other receiver on the other side. So now you got a decent core now. I don't know what they're going to do with Cousins, but
I think they should keep him.
Yeah, but doesn't he want out?
I think it's to the point where the GM of the Redskins and the whole Dan Gilbert and everybody that's within his ranking just alienated him. I think because you don't give him that big contract that really much he deserves. I'm not saying he deserves
like a lot of money,
like $25 million, like Andrew Luck is getting, or like a tier 1 type contract for quarterback, but definitely a tier 2 where he's making at least 18 to 20 million a year. And I mean, I think he deserves it.
Yeah. The problem with the Redskins was their defense.
Yeah, That's true, but I mean, eh, like I said, I think they've alienated him. Um, definitely, I believe he's definitely frustrated with the Redskins organization. I think he's gonna. I mean, after this year, if they don't sign him to a contract after this year, I definitely think he's gonna go to San Francisco to play with Kyle Shanahan. Pardon me. Um, a quarterback friendly coach, very quarterback friendly. Just look at what he did with Atlanta, led them to the Super Bowl. Quarterback friendly. So, because remember what he did with Robert Griffin III, the year that they were in the playoffs, he got injured in the playoffs, and because Dan Gilbert's the owner, he sent Robert Griffin III back into the game. And I mean, you didn't really want to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the kid's hurt, so why are you sending him back into the game hurt?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy I'm not a Redskins fan.
Yeah, so definitely there in like that predicament,
Yeah.
I would have definitely like, hey, like pull the plug somewhat, because at the time we didn't know how serious the injury
Yeah.
was, and so I mean, they revealed it after the game. I think it was like maybe 5 minutes after the injury occurred, they revealed it or whatever, or maybe after the game. I can't remember, but at that point, I pretty much would have threw in Kirk Cousins because he was the backup.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I mean, I just think he's frustrated with the organization.
Yeah, because the organization is just they're like playing with him because I understand the franchise tag last year, but I mean he proved that he's a good quarterback. I mean in the beginning of the year he did have his little inconsistencies, but he really picked up strong. And they were just a game away from, if they beat the Giants, they're in the playoffs. That's what it came down to. And hey, if you're getting a shot last week of the season to get into the playoffs, give the man the respect that he deserves. But I mean, the Redskins. I'm gonna say it right now. The NFC East is a 3-team race in my opinion. The Redskins right now have a lot of holes, and because of I don't know what they're doing with Kirk Cousins, and he's unhappy. So right now their organization is a little confused right now.
Yeah.
So I think as of this season coming up, it's going to be a 3-team race. And that's just my opinion about the Redskins. Anything
wait.
else you want to talk about?
One more thing before we get into our mock draft. I'm sorry, I keep teasing it. I'm excited to get there too. But I was given this question over the weekend. Do you think Jimmy Graham can get back to how he played with the Saints?
I think the problem with Jimmy Graham is the system he's in. The Seattle Seahawks, their line is so bad that he, instead of focusing on his route, he has to chip all the time. He has to chip the end every single play because of their offensive line.
Okay, I see where you're getting with this.
And, I mean, yeah, he had that terrible knee injury. But I think this year coming up, he was starting to have a couple breakout games for the Seahawks. I mean, he's not going to be the Jimmy Graham of the Saints because one of the system he's in, as well as his injury too. Like I think he can still be 1,000-yard receiving tight end, but I just don't know if he's going to be that consistent over 100 yards a game type of guy that he was in New Orleans. He's a great talent, and I think he's one of the best tight ends in the league. But right now he's just put in a tough situation. Until that line gets better, until Russell Wilson gets more time to throw the ball, you're not going to really see Jimmy Graham break out consistently. But occasionally, though, he will have those games where he has 10 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Like, I believe against the Rams, he had 2 one-handed grabs in the end zone. 2 touchdown day, best game of the season, over 100 yards. So he has that ability to still break out, but the problem is right now he's just in a tough situation.
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent. I definitely think he can get back to his New Orleans Saints days. I just think because because of the situation he's put in, but not only to that a factor, I definitely think this season he definitely had I think he could have done it if Russell Wilson was healthy.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was not healthy. He didn't get healthy until maybe the end of the year, as it was time to hit playoffs. He finally became healthy, like 100% healthy. But I mean, he played through his injuries as a true warrior and as a true football player. But I just think that he definitely can. It's just gonna take maybe another year or so, because the Seahawks definitely need to repatch that line. I think maybe the worst decision they made was trading away Max Unger, because he was like the coach. He was like the head. He was like the quarterback of the line.
And I mean, you see how they played against the Falcons. The Falcons line was just killing them in the playoffs, and that's why, like, I mean, Russell Wilson would still extend the play sometimes, but I mean, if you're getting hit all game, it takes a toll on you.
Exactly, and really, the system that the Seahawks are like, their offense is a run first offense. I mean, they'll like to run the ball maybe first down, second down, and if there's third down, maybe they'll pass the ball depending on what the yardage is. So maybe even sometimes, pardon me, maybe even sometimes they'll run the ball first down, second down, third down, and if they pick up the first down, they might go run again, and then if they're faced with another third down situation, depending on their yardage again, they will pass it.
Yeah, they like to run the ball a lot.
So they definitely like to run that ball and establish a running game, but without a healthy, I mean, what's his name? The running back,
Rawls.
yeah, Thomas Rawls wasn't healthy himself neither. Russell Wilson wasn't healthy.
Yeah,
and the line isn't all there. They need to repatch that line.
Yeah, and that's why they're also, like, right now they're talking with Latavius Murray from the Raiders to see if he can agree to a deal, because they need that big time running back. Right now you don't see that. I mean, Rawls is good, but he can't. If he's not healthy, then it's time to go. Like, they need someone that's durable.
I wouldn't pull the plug on Rawls just yet. I mean, maybe it'll be nice, if Adrian Peterson or Jamar Charles sign with them. Yes, it'll make them. It'll definitely be a boost to their offense. But I mean, with Thomas Rawls being hurt, an unestablished running game, and Russell Wilson not playing healthy the whole season, Jimmy Graham had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
He played all 16 games. He had 65 receptions for 923 yards with 6 touchdowns. That's a very decent. I mean, it's not what he is used to, what we used to see of the Jimmy Graham when he was with the Saints, but it's there. I just think if you establish that running game again and repatch that line, he can get there.
Yeah,
Without
he
a
can.
doubt, he can get there.
It's just hard because I've watched the Seahawks play, and he's always chipping the end because the end's just blowing through the tackle every play. Like, I believe one game they gave up like 7 sacks in the first half.
There you go. That pretty much sums it up with that topic.
Now
we're going to definitely move on to our
topic
NFL
of the day.
2017 mock draft from Joshua Sanchez and Dante Fantuzzi.
And again, if we call some of these right, use this again. We are our own source of information lately. We have been on fire.
We literally, me and Josh don't take anything from anyone. We don't copyright anything. I mean, we don't, what's that word, Josh? We don't
plagiarize.
We don't plagiarize anything. This is from what we see, what we grade, and what we think.
In our opinions.
In our opinions. So, with the 2017 of the NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select,
I say Myles Garrett, by far the best prospect in the draft. Cleveland needs a lot of needs. It's Cleveland. They need everybody. Myles Garrett will get you a strong pass rush on one side of the field. And I mean, hey, this is the start of something good for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I hear you.
And now with the first pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select.
Again, Myles Garrett, defensive end out of Texas A&M. I believe he has the tools to be the best player to come out of this draft. He definitely has the character, the size, the potential, the talent, the skill. Everything is there for him. If he can just come to the NFL and put it all together, bam.
I know. Something special.
It's very special. So, moving on. with the second pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the San Francisco's 49ers select.
I'm going to go this direction. Jonathan Allen
Okay.
out of Alabama.
Okay.
Again, 49ers, they need some help on the defensive end. When they were a Super Bowl team, I was just thinking about Aldon Smith and how he was rushing.
Okay.
So I just think they need that superstar lineman. That's just a key to the 49ers' success. And Jonathan Allen, I believe there was a video of him. Remember when he dove? Like, as soon as he said hike, he dove and just tackled the quarterback in, like, less than, like, 2 seconds. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen that video.
Ever since I've seen that video, I'm like, what are they feeding these kids in Alabama? But, yeah, I'm going with Jonathan Allen.
Okay.
Now, with the second pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select
Solomon Thomas, defensive end out of Stanford. I definitely think, right there along with Myles Garrett, he has the potential, character, skill, trait, talent. Everything is there for him.
And
all he has to do is just go to that next level, put it all together, bam.
And his
another one.
And his draft stock is rise.
Yeah, it has.
Because I think in the beginning they were having him as like he was in the top 5, but he was in the bottom of the 5, and now he's coming up. So that's good.
Now with the third pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select.
I say Jamal Adams, safety out of LSU. Man, that kid is a stud. And Chicago, they need that stud, that superstar on defense. And I think Jamal Adams will bring them a presence that they need in Chicago. They need to go back to them days where their defense was physical, where their defense was known.
The Charles Tillman
Yes.
with Brian Urlacher.
And I think Jamal Adams is a start of something good for Chicago.
Okay.
Now with the third pick in the NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select.
I'm right along with you, Jamal Adams, safety out of LSU. I'm right along with you on that one.
He's by far the best safety, in my opinion, in this draft.
Yes, arguably, yes. So, with the fourth pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select
Leonard Fournette, running back out of LSU.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but why are you taking all my picks?
I'm not taking your picks, bro.
Literally, bro, we have the same first-round pick,
Except the
third, and fourth.
I mean, it's the top of the draft, so this is where like a lot of people are going to be in common. Because when I see the Jaguars, I think about all they do is pass the ball. They need that stud running back. And you get a guy, Fournette. I mean, there's a video of him against Ole Miss where he just runs that safety over. And this safety's like 6 foot, big. He's a big boy. He just runs him over like he's a little kid. And I've talked to people that played football against him. They actually went to Cabrini. They were here in Cabrini. And they said, man, whenever we would hit him, our whole body would shake. Like you wouldn't feel your body for a couple plays. So what this guy brings, superstar run game that the Jacksonville Jaguars need. Put less pressure on Blake Bortles.
Okay.
So now, you agree with me? But
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much took the same fourth pick in the draft. So we're going to move on to the fifth pick. In the fifth pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select.
You're probably going to hate me for this, but I say Corey Davis out of Western Michigan.
Okay.
I think Tennessee's going to take a shot. I mean, people are going to say, yeah, Mike Williams. But I just think Tennessee, like, they need a bigger body. And I think Corey Davis gives you that bigger body at Western Michigan. He didn't go to the combine. But I think this kid's going to be a stud. And I think, there's a reason why I have Corey Davis at 5. I think the Clemson player is going to have a bad rap in this draft, but I think you're going to turn out to be stars. So, all right. So now with the fifth pick in the NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select
Malik Hooker, safety out of Ohio State.
Ooh.
I'm always stuck by this. Defense wins championships. I don't think they have the worst wide receiving core. I definitely do think that it's good. Marcus Mariota's good.
Yeah.
The line is good, and DeMarco Murray is good. So I believe they're gonna. I think they're gonna go wide receiver, but not in the first round. So I think they're gonna go wide receiver in the later rounds.
Yeah.
So and I mean, they definitely need help back there in the secondary. And I mean, like I said, defense was championships. There's nothing wrong with having a great defense.
I agree.
So, in With the sixth pick of the NFL draft, the New York Jets select.
I say Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying him is because the Jets, because I was thinking about Malik Hooker, but I think the New York Jets, now what happened with Darrell Revis in the offseason, and every time I see the Jets, I just think about the big plays they've given up. They need that big physical corner on the outside, and I just think Marshawn will give him good physicality. My fault. And they've also drafted safeties in the previous drafts, so I just think, and again, I'm a big fan of letting the young core grow and develop together. And I just think he'll bring corner, that shutdown corner mentality for the Jets. So now with the sixth pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select
Mitch Trubisky, quarterback out of North Carolina.
quarterback.
Yes. I believe that they need a leader on the team. Last year, it was very noticeable. They didn't have a leader in their quarterback. They went through about 3 different quarterbacks. I think with this pick, they try and set in on one, grow around one, and build their team around him and build their organization around him. As we can tell, they definitely literally let everybody go.
Yeah.
So they're just dropping players left and right. I believe Todd Bowles is willing to start from scratch and willing to just build the pieces back together. And I think this is where they take their first step with.
Yes. And I agree. I agree with that pick. I was thinking about him too, but I was like, they give up a lot of big plays on defense.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So with the 7th pick of the NFL draft, the LA Chargers select.
L.A. Rams, you mean?
Wait, is it the Rams?
I believe so, right? Well, either
No,
way.
it's the Chargers.
It's the Chargers? All
Yeah,
right.
it's the Chargers.
Well, the Chargers, I say they select Solomon Thomas, defensive end. They need that compliment to Jerry Bosa. If it is the Chargers, they need that compliment to Jerry Bosa. If I pronounce his name right, my fault if I'm not. But and I think with the Chargers, you go as far as your defensive line goes and able to penetrate. And again, I think Solomon is a great defensive end, great speed, good edge rusher. So yeah, that's my pick with the 7th pick. My fault.
Okay.
Now with the 7th pick of the NFL draft, the LA Chargers select.
Jonathan Allen, defensive end out of Alabama.
See, we switched them.
Yep, definitely. The reason why I say I take this pick, definitely like you said, they can definitely use the help on defense. I definitely don't see them going offense. Phillip Rivers, I believe, is a good quarterback. They finally found their running game. They have good receivers as long as Keenan Allen can stay healthy. They can definitely take that leap over the hump. I think his name is Tremaine Williams.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Definitely stepped up big. Had 1,000-yard season as a backup. I mean, really, he just came out of nowhere. Came in and definitely took over, and he's going to be the wide receiver to Keenan Allen. And I think they can definitely use the help on defense, and like you said, they can go opposite of Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
So now I believe you can have Joey Bosa and Jonathan Allen coming after quarterback.
Oh man, that's scary.
That's scary. It's going to be scary.
That's something scary.
Mm-hmm. Now with the 8th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select.
All right, and this is gonna be my shocking pick because I looked at a couple mock drafts I did, and they had this guy very low in the first round. But I'm saying Jabri Peppers,
Okay, Jabril.
safety. I just think Carolina, he'd be a perfect fit in Carolina. Like the way how they're defensive, like the way how they are defensively, like with Luke Kuechly and Davis, and they just need that guy in the secondary that's gonna play physical, play that stud on this in the secondary. And I think Jabri Peppers would be a perfect fit for Carolina. I've been saying this since day one, pretty much. Carolina would be a perfect fit for him. And they need that guy in the secondary. That's what they're lacking. They lost it with Josh Norman. Now they can get some of it back with Peppers.
Okay, I like that.
Now with the 8th pick in the NFL draft, the Carolina Panthers select.
Pardon me. Marshawn Lattimore, quarterback out of Ohio State.
Corner.
Yes, corner.
See, I had Lattimore with the Jets.
I believe that everything went downhill for the Panthers after they lost Josh Norman. They never had a true corner, a true number one corner to help that dominant line and that good linebacker core. I just think their secondary needs help. I believe Marshawn Lattimore definitely helps them there. Definitely is a big boost to that secondary, and I believe he's going to replace Josh Norman.
I like that.
Now, with the ninth pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select
Hassan Reddick, linebacker out of Temple. Only because, again, they need someone young, fast, quick, that has heart, and I just think Hassan Reddick is perfect. It's a perfect fit for Marvin Lewis and what he wants to do on his defensive side.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly who their linebacker is. I forget his name, but he's known as one of the dirtiest players in the NFL. You know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
I just don't know his name off the top of my head. I'm not really a fan of him. Like, I know he plays physical, but he gets a lot of fines, gets suspensions.
The same one that had the big hit on Antonio Brown.
Yeah, on Antonio Brown.
I can't remember that.
I thought he killed him.
Cannot remember the name. Man, I'm gonna look it up. Matter of fact.
But I just think Hassan Reddick will be a start of something new. I think Cincinnati needs to get rid of him. As I know there's a couple of Bengal fans that say, I don't know, he's really physical. He is a good linebacker, but he's a dirty player.
Vontaze Burfict.
Yes, Vontaze Burfict. He is a good linebacker, but I just think he's had a bad reputation. The Bengals,
Pardon me.
They just shoot themselves in the foot. And if you get rid of him and you put in this new, young, experienced guy, Hassan Reddick, I just think their team will get younger and better.
Okay, I like that.
With the ninth pick in the NFL draft, 2017 NFL draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select
Corey Davis, wide receiver out of Western Michigan.
They need a receiver.
Definitely, I think they need a number 2 receiver. AJ Green last season wasn't healthy. I mean, he missed 6 games due to injury. In 2014, he missed 3 games due to a toe injury. Last year, I think he ruptured his hamstring, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
something bad.
Yeah, and I mean they haven't found a receiver yet to replace Mohamed Sanu. So I believe Corey Davis comes in and is the just gonna fulfill that role.
Yep.
So
I like that.
I think it's gonna be double trouble. Double trouble now.
Oh, and you notice Corey Davis is our top receiver in both of the mock drafts, not Mike Williams.
Oh, and don't forget, it definitely gives Andy Dalton more weapons now.
Yes.
Something he was lacking last year.
They were lacking something. Their defense kept shooting themselves in the foot, and then their offense was just lacking that punch that they usually have.
Yep. So I believe that now you have AJ Green, you have Corey Davis, and you also have Tyler Eifert now to get the ball to. Don't forget Jeremy Hill and
Giovanni Bernard.
So I think Cincinnati's on the way to big things now.
If they don't mess it up.
Yeah, if they don't mess it up. Now, with the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select.
I say Mike Williams, wide receiver, Clemson, only because Sammy Watkins has been injury prone these past couple years. Tyrod Taylor needs that big body receiver. And when Sammy Watkins comes back, they have that Clemson chemistry too. So you have Sammy Watkins on one side, Mike Williams on the other, and then you got the speedster and Chris Godwin. That I think
Goodwin?
Goodwin, my fault. Not Godwin, my fault. Which I believe he was close to breaking Chris Johnson's record, but just missed it. So you have that speed in the slot, and now you got yourself a receiving core for Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, I like that.
My fault. With the 10th pick, my bad. With the 10th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select
Garyon Conley, cornerback out of Ohio State.
Ooh.
I think it's time for them to patch up their defense. A lot of people are saying go Deshaun Watson, go quarterback. I don't think that's happening now after what did restructure his
Yeah,
contract?
they restructured
They
Tyrod
restructured
Taylor's contract.
Tyrod Taylor's contract. So I think now I believe I think they're gonna re-sign LaShawn McCoy. I hope Sammy Watkins can pull it together this year. You have that big three right there. You have Chris Goodwin to go vertical, to take away, the pressure off of Sammy Watkins, so he can get those one-on-one balls, that one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, and I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but what's crazy is a lot of people sleep on Tyrod Taylor. The Buffalo Bills were ranked 7th in the NFL in offense this year.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people don't even understand that. They're 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor had a great year, and his best weapon, Sammy Watkins, was out for most of the year. So again, just adding to your point.
And I mean, I think Garyon Conley's gonna now come in to replace Stephon Gilmore. They lost him to the Patriots in free agency. I think he was overpaid on everything. He was overpaid. I think Stephon Gilmore was overpaid, just my opinion. But I think Conley's gonna come in, set to be the CB1 for Buffalo, and he's gonna bring back that to the Buffalo defense. Yeah,
Yeah.
when they really dominated like a couple years back. So I think he's gonna come back, and I think he's gonna get drafted by them and definitely come back and bring that back to them. So with the 11th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select.
I said Gary and Conley, cornerback. New Orleans, they need everything on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, they give up so many big plays, and it stinks because Drew Brees, year after year, top 5 quarterback in the NFL, 5,000 yards, 30 to 40 touchdowns. Like what Drew Brees is doing, Drew Brees has to throw the ball for over 400 yards for them to win the game.
I don't think their problem is the offense at all.
It's the defense.
Absolutely.
And they take that step forward by getting Gary and Conley. They need a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that he'll bring a good presence on the outside and just something the Saints need. They need that one corner that can go toe to toe against the number 1 wide receiver on each team.
Okay.
So that's where I'll go, Gary and Conley. Now with the 11th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select
Derek Barnett, defensive end out of Tennessee. Like you said, the Saints definitely need a lot of help on their defense. But what I think the Saints do, they take a different approach to the draft. I believe they don't draft by position. I believe they draft best player available. Although I don't think he's going to be the best player available at this situation that they're in with the 11th pick. But on defense, yes. And he's just, something that they need too. They definitely need somebody a rusher, a pass rusher, somebody that can get to the quarterback.
They need everything.
Yeah, they definitely do, but I believe they definitely need somebody to get to the quarterback. And when you have a stable defensive line that can get to the quarterback constantly, it eases the pressure on your cornerbacks and your secondary. So that's my pick right there. Pardon me. With the 12th pick in the NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback, North Carolina. I think Cleveland, I think they just cut Robert Griffin. They need a quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
I think Trubisky is going to fall to 12 because I've done my research, I've checked, and they said this year is not really strong on quarterbacks.
It's not.
So I just think he's going to fall to 12. It's not the same as last year because last year they said the quarterback class was weak, but last minute the quarterback Carson Wentz and Jared Goff rose at the end. I don't see that happening in this draft, so that's why I have him falling to 12.
Okay.
And that pick is via Philadelphia Eagles.
It definitely is. Which I'm cool with. We got Carson Wentz in return.
Cool too.
Hey,
I know.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Josh.
Oh, my fault. My bad. I'm still focusing on it. Oh, yeah, with the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns select.
Oh, pardon me. I lost him in my list. Deshaun Watson, quarterback out of Clemson.
Oh, you go to Deshaun Watson.
Yes, I believe it's time for them. I just think Deshaun Watson is going to be the best quarterback to come out this draft. So,
I can't go wrong with you on that one.
and I definitely think that, with the having the first pick and the 12th pick, the 12th pick, they're going to build their defense around Myles Garrett, and they're going to build their offense around Deshaun Watson. I mean, yes, he does have accuracy issues, but that's something that can be worked on.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely something that can be worked on. He has the full package. He has everything. He has the deep ball arm, the potential, the talent, the skill level, the character. Everything there is there for him. Little weakness in his accuracy, fine, that could be worked on. Just now, all they have to do is just get him a wide receiver to get the ball to. Hey, big things can happen for Cleveland now. Dog
Yes.
pound, baby.
Dog pound.
So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
In the 13th pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals select.
People are going to call me crazy for this, but I'm going to say Malik Hooker, safety out of Ohio State. I think he's going to fall.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
they can have something special now because, because one thing I realized in defense, you have to have two safeties, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the Golden Badger, and then now you have Malik Hooker now, the other safety.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Patrick
So,
Peterson.
All right, so just out of curiosity, you do know they signed Antoine Bethea, right?
Yeah.
So does he beat out Antoine Bethea?
I don't know. I think so. I mean, I just want
Or are you thinking long term with this pick?
I'm thinking long term with this pick
Okay.
too. That's why I said people are gonna call me crazy for this. I'm thinking long term as well. And when they get into I don't know, like nickel, dime packages, he can be out there. And I just think Arizona they need more spark. I mean Patrick Peterson's good, and also with Garen Conley leaving, Lattimore gone, like 3 cornerbacks are already gone in my mock draft. So I'm just like, let's just go defensive back here and let's get something special here.
Okay.
That's just what I was thinking. I was also thinking long term, yes.
Not a problem.
So now with the 13th pick of the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals select.
Mike Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson.
Yeah, I see that.
I definitely think Larry Fitzgerald is coming to an end in his career. Besides Larry Fitzgerald, they have no other wide receiver. They released Michael Floyd due to his DUI situation. John Brown, pardon me, John Brown was not the same receiver that we seen 2 years back when he had the 1,000 yards. So, and I think it's definitely, somebody that they're going to draft. I think they're going to draft Mike Williams for the simple fact, yes, like I said, Larry Fitzgerald is coming to an end in his career. And I believe that, they're going to put him under Larry Fitzgerald's wing, so now he can learn from one of the greatest to ever play, one of the greatest to ever play in the slot, and one of the greatest wide receivers one of the greatest receivers to ever walk through the NFL. And I mean, we all seen Clemson wide receivers what they can do.
Yeah.
We all see. For instance,
I know.
Nuke, DeAndre Hopkins, Sammy Watkins. Who else?
Martavis Bryant.
Martavius.
He
Bryant.
was not seen last season because he's been suspended.
Yeah, he
but,
can't lay off the weed, man. Come on, bro. You gotta lay off the weed a little bit, bro.
but when he's on the field,
When he's on the field, you're causing havoc. When you're off the field, you're very relaxed. Lay off a little bit there, bro.
lay off the weed.
Just pass. Don't puff, just pass. You get what I'm saying, bro? All right, so all right. So with the 14th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
What's crazy is a couple podcasts ago I said John Ross, but now we know what happened with Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith. I think if Derek Barton Barnett, my fault, stays on the board, we have to take him based off of need and around like the talent wise, because we released Connor Barwin. We need that pass rusher on the other side of Brandon Graham.
Okay.
And I just think Barnett will give you speed rusher on the other side. And based off of what I've seen in the NFL free agency, we can go a couple different directions. But I just think we're going to go pass rusher here. And it might piss off some fans. I know it'll piss me off too, but that's why I just have a gut feeling we're going to go pass rusher.
Okay.
So now with the 14th pick in the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
Reuben Foster, linebacker out of Alabama.
Yeah.
Now, like you said,
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple picks back, I did say go offensive tackle Cam
Yeah.
Robinson, but
Reuben Foster's a beast.
he definitely is a beast. And another thing is that they signed Chance Warmack and re-signed Stefan Winkowski. I don't even know how to say his name. Stefan Winkowski, something like that. I'm sorry,
Wiskowski.
something like that. So I think their line is solid enough where we don't have to take one now, and I believe the approach the Eagles should take, and I hope will take, is go best player available. Especially if we do get rid of Michael Kendricks, we're definitely gonna have to take a linebacker now.
Yeah.
The reason why I say we don't go defensive end is because I'm still high on Vinny Curry playing end and being good at it and letting him do what he can do. So I definitely think that. I definitely think we don't touch the line. We go linebacker Reuben Foster in our first round pick.
And he's a stud.
Definitely. Pardon me. Okay, in the 15th pick, with the 15th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select
Reuben Foster, linebacker. The Colts, they need that stud in the middle. I've watched them so many years with Peyton Manning, and it's still the same now with Luck. And I know my one friend, he's probably listening to this now. He's a diehard Colts fan. They get pounded on the run game. Teams just run on them all day. And now you get a guy in the middle that's the start of something good for the Colts. When they won with Peyton Manning in 06, their defense was solid. And they have to get back to that if they want to go to the next level with Andrew Luck.
Okay.
Your offense can't do it all. And I just think they take that first step with Reuben Foster.
Cool.
With the 15th pick in the NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select
Dalvin Cook, running back out of Florida State. I can't see him falling anywhere past 15. Dalvin Cook is a stud running back.
Yes.
Maybe if he'll be even better if the Colts repatch that line a little bit. And Frank Gore is coming to a point in his career where he's not going to be the same Frank Gore that we've seen in the past. I believe when he was with the 49ers, they ran him to the ground. And it's definitely taking a toll on his body. And we can see how it's played out on the field so far since he signed with the Colts. What has he done? Well, pardon me, what has he done?
Yeah.
So I think definitely they'd go best player available, and just happens to be Dalvin Cook.
I like that logic.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Josh, my boy. Wait, pound it out.
Found it out.
My boy. All right. So at the 16th pick in the NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select
Dalvin Cook. I see him as a better fit for the Ravens than I do with the Colts because of the way he runs and the way how the Ravens' physicality is, like their team motive is. It's built off of physicality. And Cook will run with heart and physicality, pretty much like I just said. Baltimore Ravens, they need that explosive running game. I mean, they have West. I mean, West is a good running back, but he's not the Dalvin Cook in my eyes. I think Dalvin Cook and West can be that 1-2 punch for Baltimore. That they didn't get back to how they were with Ray Rice. So now with the 16th pick in the NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select
Hassan Reddick, defensive lineman out of Temple. I'm waiting to see that Baltimore Ravens defense again. That defense that when we seen with Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and around that time Kerry Williams was with them, I believe, for a little bit. So Darius Webb, I believe, is also. I'm not too sure. I'm waiting to see that defense again. I'm waiting to see it. I believe they start this year with Reddick by taking him with their first round pick, and I don't think there's anything wrong with their offense. I think they can get a stud wide receiver in the later rounds.
Yeah.
To complement Joe Flacco, and I believe they re-signed Mike Wallace, who just had a 1,000-yard season. So I believe they get something going with that defense again.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the 17th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select.
I'm going to take a shot here.
Okay.
I'm going to say Marlon Humphrey, cornerback out of Alabama. And the reason why I say this is because the Washington Redskins, they need someone on their defense to bring the boom, to bring the hit stick, like they did with I forget the name. He passed away. Remember what I'm talking about? You know.
Oh, Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor. Yeah, they need their defense was good when he was on there. They need that heart. And when I saw Humphrey in the national title game, I saw heart in this guy. Yeah, he does give up some big plays. He does because he's not. It's just the way how he plays. He plays very aggressive. And I just think Washington, they need that guy in the secondary to set the table for how the game's going to go, set the physicality of the game. And I just think with Humphrey, you'll get that. So now with the 17th pick in the NFL draft, the Washington Redskins select
Chris Wormley, out of Michigan. I believe they really need help on that defense. I think their offense is pretty good. Starting with this new acquisition of Terrell Pryor. They still have what's his name? The running back.
Oh yeah, I know it's Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly, but and also what the other one before Kelly? That was
I know who you're talking about.
the guy with the dreads. I forget his name. Sorry. And they still have Jordan Reed, who I believe is one of the best tight ends in the league, when healthy. And I just think they need help on defense. So I believe they start there with Chris Wormley.
I like that.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. I appreciate that again. Okay. So with the 18th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select
Chris Wormley. Did I pronounce his name right?
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans, they need some defensive line help.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think the Redskins will take a shot with Humphrey. And then the Titans will get the pick that you just described with the 18th pick.
Okay.
Now with the 18th pick in the NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select
John Ross, wide receiver out of Washington. I definitely do think they still have a good offense. And, I mean, they definitely do have Delaney Walker. And I would love to see John Ross in this offense. I would like to see what he can do vertical-wise.
Yes.
What he can do with a young, great Marcus Mariota. And see what more he can bring. I mean, what DeMarco Murray could bring. With now that safeties and linebackers have to respect his speed now. They have to. He broke the record, so they have to respect that speed. Because if not, Marcus Mariota is just going to bomb it down the field, and he's going to burn you.
Yes, he is.
So now I want to see what more can DeMarco Murray bring to the table. Now, moving on. With the 19th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select
Charles Harris, defensive end. I just think they need that. They're just one lineman away from getting their whole defensive line into like a top caliber defense. I'm just thinking about the days when they won with Warren Sapp, when they won that Super Bowl. All four linemen in that Tampa 2 defense were all studs. Mm-hmm. And they have the piece, they have the tackle. I don't know his name exactly because I don't really follow the Buccaneers like that. But if they get Charles Harris, another pass rusher, defensive end, their defensive line will be set for years to come. They're young, explosive, and athletic. And we've seen them before they folded in the last 2 weeks of the season, they were looking like a top defense in the NFL. Like I remember the Seahawks game, killing Russell Wilson all game. So that's why I think they'll go Charles Harris in the first round. So now with the 19th pick in the NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select
Charles Harris.
Oh snap! Oh, you agree with me, huh?
Yeah. I believe that they have a pretty solid defense.
Yeah.
I believe he's just that one person that they can really use to really take them over the hump.
Yes.
I believe their offense is good. I don't know how you can't bet against their offense. You have Jackson Evans,
Doug Martin.
I wasn't talking about.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Doug Martin as well.
Famous Jameis.
Jameis Winston and the tight end. I forget.
Break.
Break some break
Henry.
something like that.
Yes,
Yeah, something like
Henry
that.
Blake or Henry Brake.
Something like that. Something along those lines. So I mean, I think now they can focus on defense, and with this pick, it definitely takes them over the hump, so they could become that postseason, that playoff contender.
Yes.
Now, with the 20th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select.
Denver Broncos, I think we're going to go Forrest Lamp. I think you're going to take a shot on this kid. They need some help on the offensive line, just a little bit. I was thinking it was either that or I was thinking tight end, but I just think Forrest Lamp would fit better for the Denver Broncos, like right now. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with my 20th pick.
Okay.
Now, with the 20th pick in the NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select
Cam Robinson, offensive tackle out of Alabama. I believe the Denver Broncos definitely need help with that line.
Yes.
They need to repatch it. Definitely get that ground game going again. That hasn't been the same since Peyton Manning left. So I believe that with this pick, they can definitely repatch the line, do some work on offense, and get back to the Broncos we've seen about 2 years ago, and get back into the playoffs.
Yes.
Now, with the 21st pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select.
See, this one was tough for me, but I'm going to go linebacker Raquan McMillan, or McMillan, or around that.
Okay.
I just think the Lions. I mean, I haven't really seen the Lions to really see what they really need, but this guy bring physicality to the defense, and I believe they signed Paul Warlow to a deal, but I mean Paul Warlow's a good linebacker, but Raquan McMillan will give you more speed, more versatile, and I just think that the Lions, they need to go young, so good idea. So now with the 21st pick in the NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select
running back Christian McCaffrey from Stanford. I believe the offense played pretty well with their first year without Calvin Johnson being there. The line was semi there this year.
Yeah.
I just think that they're really they don't have that go-to running back. They have Theo Reddick, but come on now, he's not that pound and ground running back. He's a switch the pace up type running back. I can give you 10 carries for about 30 yards, 6 catches for 55 yards with a touchdown type running back, like a Darren Sproles type running back. And Darren Sproles is an every down back, so I think that's their biggest need right now, as a running back. So I go Christian McCaffrey out of Stanford.
That's a good pick.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So with the 22nd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select
Tez Tabor, cornerback out of Florida.
Okay, I went with that too. I definitely went with that.
The Dolphins, I mean, they have Byron Maxwell. He actually stepped up after an okay year in Philadelphia. So now they just need that other guy on the other side. That's all I mean, their defense was showing some improvements.
And they have a pretty good safety tandem too.
Yes, and they have a pretty good safety tandem as well. So I just think with now Teez Tabor, now you have sort of that young core. I'm a big fan of young cores growing together, that young secondary growing. And they have something special in Miami.
Okay, I like that. Now, since we both took the same pick, we're going to move on to the 23rd pick of the New York Giants. So with the 23rd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select
Cam Robinson, offensive tackle, Alabama. And the reason why I said that, because we talked about it in our past podcast, the Giants, they need to get that line stable. Give Eli Manning more time. Give Odell, which gives Odell and now Brandon Marshall more time to get open. So that's the only weakness I see with the Giants right now. And Cam Robinson's the first start. So now the 23rd pick in the NFL Draft, the New York Giants select
your guy, Forrest Lamp, offensive lineman out of Western Kentucky. We both agreed they definitely need to repass that line.
Yes.
Definitely need to establish a running game now. I mean, they have arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league. On paper, they do, with Brandon Marshall and OBJ. I just think that they need to give Eli Manning the protection back there. Need to help him. Can't afford him to get sacked.
Yeah.
And time to get things going now. I definitely like this kid out of Western Kentucky. So with the 24th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select
Christian McCaffrey, running back, Stanford. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if they lose Latavius Murray, which I think they are, I think they need that explosive back that can not only run the ball but can also catch the ball. And he's been slept on a lot. And I'm not even gonna lie, initially I was sleeping on him too, until I saw him in the combine and I saw him like do drills and stuff like that. And I just think he'd be a perfect fit for Derek Carr in that explosive offense.
Okay.
They have the line set, and then they lose Murray, but they get another stud back at running back in this draft for Christian McCaffrey.
All right.
So now with the 24th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select
Jabril Peppers, linebacker / safety out of Michigan. I believe that the Oakland Raiders can somehow manage to find a way to either sign AP or Jamar Charles to replace Latavius Murray if he decides to walk. So, and now I believe their main focus is shift to defense now. Can definitely strengthen that defense, help better. And like you say, they can grow as a young core now.
Yes.
And I believe this is the best fit for the Oakland Raiders now. Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. With the 25th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select
O.J. Howard, tight end, Alabama. I was thinking about the Texans, and I was gonna say, quarterback, but I'm really thinking, who is their tight end? I'm like, who is their tight end? Because they have Fuller, they have DeAndre Hopkins. Why not get another offensive beast in O.J. Howard at your tight end? So then now, whatever quarterback you get, I believe they're going to get Tony Romo in the free agency. I'm a firm believer in that. Because I think Denver, as much as it hates me to say it, I think they're going to go with Simeon, because Simeon did show he had a couple good games in the NFL. He just needs more time to get protected, and then the Denver Broncos will be fine. I just think with the Texans, they get another offensive weapon. We saw the highlight in the national title game, so he has that big playability. And with Tony Romo, now you got three weapons for him now. So, with the 25th pick in the NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select
Deshaun Kaiser, quarterback out of Notre Dame. I do believe they're going to end up getting Tony Romo.
Yeah.
But I believe, this kid is young. He can grow. And remember, he was a freshman when he started for Notre Dame. So he's not new to being young and being put in big time situations. So he's definitely no newcomer to that. So I believe, like I said, I believe they're gonna get Tony Romo. And then after Tony Romo, I believe he has 2-3 years in him. After Tony, who I mean, you can definitely go out and draft one, but I think it'll be better to get one now and let him develop. Give him a 3-year span to develop. With the 26th pick in the NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select
Ryan Ramczyk, offensive tackle, Wisconsin.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I definitely went with that one too.
Man, they need some offensive line help, and he's a great offensive tackle. I'm tired of seeing these guys get blown off the ball by ends game after game after game, coming right at Russell Wilson. I mean, you got to protect him. He had an injury, so you got to protect that man. Protect that man.
Okay.
And anything you want to add about this pick, or do you want to go on to the next one? So we both have the same person.
Yeah, we pretty much had the same idea and same, opinion about it. So with the 27th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select
Deshaun Watson, quarterback out of Clemson. I think this kid is going to get slept on, and he's going to fall in the first round. And then I think what we see what Andy Reid has done in the past, he likes those athletic quarterbacks. And we see him with Donovan McNabb. And Alex Smith is 35, 36 years old. He's a good quarterback, but he's not explosive. You have Tyreek Hill. And I seen the Steelers game in the playoffs. He missed Tyreek Hill wide open and down the middle of the field. Didn't even look at him. Deshaun Watson will give you that big play threat, big play ability. He can run outside the pocket. And just like you said, I think he is the best quarterback in this class. But I believe he's going to get slept on in this class because of his accuracy problems. And I just think Andy Reid, it would be a perfect fit in Andy Reid's system and something new. And the Chiefs will take that next step with Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Okay.
So now at the 27th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select
Caleb Brantley, nose tackle out of Florida. Andy Reid's definitely a player that develops his team from the ball in to out. I mean, as we can see in previous years, and even when he was here in Philly, he goes line first. Everything he does, he drives linemen first. Cause I bet that you win and lose the game starting with your line.
Yes.
And I believe it starts and ends with them. And I believe Andy Reid is a firm believer in that. And Don Terry Poe is no guarantee to sign back with a team. So I believe, depending on his situation, they take Caleb Brantley out of Florida. So with the 28th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft,
Yeah, I'm saying boo.
the Dallas Cowboys select.
I'm going to go a different direction in this one. I'm going to go John Ross, wide receiver from Washington. You have Dez Bryant, you have Beasley, and I just think John Ross will give you that speed, big play threat. I was thinking defensive pass rusher because they need one badly, but I think Jerry Jones is going to think offense first. I just have a gut feeling. And I just think he's going to go John Ross on this one. Speed kills. And I think the Cowboys will get faster.
Okay, not a bad pick for the Cowboys.
Now at the 28th pick in the 2017 draft, the Dallas Cowboys select.
I'm pretty sure if anybody's been listening, that's going to listen to this, they haven't heard me say this name yet. Marlon Humphreys, cornerback out of Alabama. They definitely need help on defense. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They definitely need help. I believe this is a good start. They signed Nolan Carroll. I mean, good luck with that.
Good luck, Cowboys. Good luck.
Just know he's going to get burnt. So good luck with that. Hey, whatever floats your boat, Dallas. But I believe with this pick, you definitely go Marlon Humphreys, cornerback out of Alabama. Now, with the 29th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select.
Tre'Davious White, cornerback out of LSU. We see with the Green Bay Packers, their secondary, none of them can play a game. They get hurt every day. Every game, And I just think what Tre'Davious White will give you is a good cornerback who'll play consistent football all year. And that's just something the Green Bay Packers need is some secondary help. So now with the 29th pick in the 2017 draft, the Green Bay Packers select
Tim Williams, defensive end out of Alabama. They just currently lost Peppers due to free agency to the Carolina Panthers. He signed with the team that originally drafted him. So I believe that, just to fill that void, they draft Tim Williams, and he's going to be the replacement to Peppers over there. Now, with the 30th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select
T.J. Watt, linebacker, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I think Timmons, he's getting old.
Didn't he sign with somebody else?
Oh, he did. He signed with someone else.
Lawrence Timmons?
Yeah, Lawrence Timmons.
Wait, I may be wrong.
Just double checking. I just think T.J. Watt, I've seen him play at Wisconsin. He plays with a lot of heart, physicality. He's a true, when I see him, I see Pittsburgh Steeler in my eyes. He will scrap, claw, find every way he can to make the game physical, beat up on your running backs, beat up on your quarterbacks. And I just think this kid's going to be special, just like his brother. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say with him.
Okay.
So now with the 30th pick in the 2017 draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select
Adoree Jackson, cornerback out of USC. Their secondary has been hell. They need help ASAP. I believe with Adoree Jackson, he's gonna help bring this. He's gonna help bring back that that secondary that we used to see with the Steelers. I believe he's a start for them to get back to it, and I really think he's gonna fit well with them. Now, with the 31st pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select
Dan Freeney, offensive guard, Indiana. Atlanta's line is really good, but they have one hole in their line, and that's their guard. So now they just replace him with someone new, someone experienced, not experienced, but someone new, athletic. And I just think Dan Freeney's a good offensive lineman. Good pick for the 31st in the first round.
Is it one with the same pick?
You went with the same pick?
Same pick. Now, moving on to the last pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select.
I'm going to go secondary again. I love young secondaries. Bubba Baker, safety out of Washington. They need help on the secondary. I think that's like one of their main holes. I understand pass rusher, but I think they'll go pass rusher in the second round. So I just think you get two young guys. They're gonna make mistakes because they're young, but
yeah,
I'm a big fan of young cores, and it's the start of something in New Orleans.
Okay.
Now at the 32nd pick in the NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select
T.J. Watt, linebacker out of Wisconsin. Like you said, I think he's going to be a 2.0 of his big brother, J.J. Watt. They definitely need a linebacker.
Yeah, they do.
But, I mean, like you said, they need help all over their defense. But I think with, this pick, it boosts them. I mean, and in the, what pick was it? The 11th pick, they went defense again. So I think they're going to stick with defense. Their offense is definitely there. They have nothing to worry about on their offense. Maybe, a lineman there or something, whatever you want to do.
Or maybe like a receiver because you do lose Cooks, but that's later in the draft.
But you definitely do have, Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
So, I like to see T.J. Watt in New Orleans. And, like I said, he's going to be a 2.0 at J.J.
And, I mean, that's pretty much it with our mock draft. How do you feel about him?
I feel like I should work for either ESPN or NFL Network.
Same,
I feel like I should work for them. You know what? Call me.
Call me.
Call me. All I need is a 1-year deal.
Same, me too, man. Call me too. 1-year deal.
All right, well, is that it? We're going to wrap it up now?
Yeah, I think we are going to wrap it up.
Right, let's wrap it up.
Well, thank you guys for listening to Josh and Dante's podcast. Like, subscribe, show friends, family. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Josh and Dante. And again, big shout out to Noah for the interview over the weekend. Big shout out to him. Great. Again, he's a great player. And this is Josh and Dante signing off.
Swoop!
Swoop!